did this business journey start? How did you hit upon this idea of getting into this business?
I started this business in 2013 since I have an engineering background, and since infrastructure has a lot of promise. India is a developing country. A lot of infrastructure work needs to be done.
Then what are the kind of activities which you do under EPC for all these segments?
EPC, as you know, it is basically engineering, procurement and construction. That means it is an end-to-end solution, turnkey. We basically work on from concept to commissioning of the project, and in some cases we even maintain it for 1 to 5 years.
Welcome friends, my name is Avinash Gorakshekar and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, in these episodes we introduce to you emerging companies from emerging sectors, and we make it a point to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies so that all our investors can understand these companies better in terms of their business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans. And in this process, a lot of valuable information is shared by the top managements, which helps all our investors to take a very conscious investment call. And friends, today we are going to introduce another interesting company which is going to hit the capital market very soon. The company's name is current Infraprojects Limited, and I have the privilege of having Mr. Sunil Singh Gangwar, who is the managing director and the chairman of the company. Sunil ji, बहुत धन्यवाद sir, time देने के लिए. I'm pretty sure, sir, in this small interaction, we will be able to understand your company's operations in a much better way for all our investors.
I thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Sunil ji, now first question, which is very elementary. We ask all the promoters, if you could tell us, how did this business journey start? How did you hit upon this idea of getting into this business? Was it a first generation effort, or was your father doing this and then you took over? And secondly, sir, now in the domestic market, what is the positioning of our company? If you could give us some broad idea about where we are currently and what are the kind of services and typically expertise which you offer to our clients.
See, I am an engineer by qualification, so naturally I started this business in 2013 since I have an engineering background, and since infrastructure has a lot of promise. India is a developing country. A lot of infrastructure work needs to be done. I was just going through the budget of Government of India this year. The country's budget is 50 lakh crore, out of which approximately something like 11 lakh plus crore is of infra. So obviously, I am not that big company, but there's a lot of scope for infrastructure works. So I am eyeing on that on a small pie that I'm able to deliver in infrastructure works like electrical, water, civil, and solar works.
So fine. Tell us basically about all these three segments, Sunil, which you said, because we have read your prospectus and your presentation. I think you all are present on the solar EPC, electrical EPC, water EPC, and the civil EPC contracts. So, sir, थोड़ा सा briefly हर segment के बारे में बताइए कि हम क्या काम करते हैं. What are the kind of activities which you do under EPC for all these segments?
EPC, as you know, it is basically engineering, procurement and construction. That means it is an end-to-end solution, turnkey. We basically work on from concept to commissioning of the project, and in some cases we even maintain it for 1 to 5 years. That is known as DLP period. That is basically a defect liability period. So, for example, we started our business from electrical EPC. That means a project like substation, we would design it, then we would deliver it, and then we would maintain it. Gradually, as we gained experience from electrical, we shifted to water. We delivered that water, some big water projects in Kerala, in Maharashtra, in UP. Then from water, we shifted to solar, because solar is an sunshine industry. So right now we are focusing on solar because energy is in high demands and solar energy is clean energy.
Okay. So fine, understood. So now one important question is, in the last few years, if you could tell us which are the key marquee projects which you have completed, since you say your focus is basically solar EPC now. If you could give us some idea, which were the big projects we completed and which are the current ongoing projects which we are currently doing. If you could give us some inputs on that.
Right. See, I'll give you few examples of private sector, like GR Infra is a big road company. Short name is Grill. we are working on several solar projects with Grill. Their mega project was a Dame project, which is known as Dasna Meerut near Delhi. There in 2019, we completed 1.9 megawatt. That was our flagship project with a lot of solar component and lot of batteries. So then finally, we from government point of view, we are doing a lot of big projects like for NHPC. We just now delivered 1 megawatt in Rajasthan at Kishangarh. We are doing a lot of railway projects. Jaipur Railways is one, Mysore Railways is another, Bhusawal Railways another. So we're doing a lot of railway project. Izzat Nagar is another for Government of India. That means railways.
Okay, understood. Sunil ji, now one more thing which I wanted to understand. I observed that Rajasthan, Kerala, and UP are dominant states where we operate. Now, going forward, Sunil ji, can we assume that with the IPO coming plus lot of funding available for the company, can the company bid for projects outside these three states also, and we can have a fairly good amount of pan-India coverage for us?
Yes, see, you can imagine sitting in Rajasthan, we are able to deliver projects in Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Odisha. So that shows our fire, that shows our competency level, because it is not easy sitting in Rajasthan or Jaipur and delivering projects throughout India. Right now, we are working in 12 states and we wish to add further states and we are working hard on that.
Okay. Achha, nice to hear that, Sunil ji. Sunil ji, now currently, what is the order book we have, which we can say that these are confirmed orders with us, which gives us a fair amount of revenue visibility, for the next at least 12 to 15 months ahead?
See, right now the order booking is very good. We have 280 crore plus of order booking and lot are in pipeline. So this is a continuous process for us because we tender, we get orders, we deliver, then we go to the next level. So right now the company has a very, very good order booking and I look forward to continue with this pattern.
Okay. So typically, what is the normal life cycle of these projects? Like when you say 280 crores, can these be completed over the next 12 to 18 months? I mean, hopefully, the timeline when we can finish this top line into actual revenue for the company.
See, timeline varies from project to project. Sometimes it is as small as 3 months, and sometimes it goes as long as 24 months. So, because road projects or infra projects are very, they've got a lot of hurdles. There's a right of ROW issues, then there are other issues we have to cater to. So, I would say, yes, with 280 crores, something like in 12 to 16 months, or we'll be able to finish a major chunk of it, and that remaining would be carried over to the next financial year.
Okay, Sunil ji, now one thing I wanted to understand, if we understand the macro opportunity, see, infrastructure, as you rightly pointed out, is a very important need of the hour. The government is also pushing for more infrastructure investments. Sir, what is your sense that over the next 3 to 5 years, what is the total addressable market which is available for us? Because today we are at a particular level. In the next 3 to 5 years, what kind of growth can we envisage for the projects we handle, like water, solar, electrical? And within these three kind of areas, which I spoke now, sir, how does the company plan to capitalize this growth? Like, are we in a position to say that whatever growth the sector shows, we are fully equipped to capture that growth, depending on how much resources you deploy?
Exactly. See, as we would be going developed country by 2047. तो अगर हम 2047 में विकसित भारत बनाएंगे तो अगले 22 साल खूब काम करना है हमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, तभी हमारा देश विकसित होगा. तो उसी दिशा में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, अपने आप को इक्विप कर रहे हैं, अपने आप को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, रिसोर्सेज बढ़ाएंगे और हम अगले 20 सालों तक काम ही काम है हमारे देश में. और मुझे लगता है हम उसमें बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकते हैं.
And बिल्कुल, I think very nice to hear that, Sunil ji. Sunil ji, now tell me one thing, within our customer base, how much of business comes from government and how much of business comes from the private customers? थोड़ा सा सर आपके कोई मार्की कस्टमर्स के बारे में बताइए.
हाँ, मैं बताना चाहूंगा आपको. See, obviously, when we started business in 2000, primarily it was private because initially you don't have experience. So gradually, step by step, we started completing private jobs, and some of the big players in infra industries are something like L&T. We work with L&T, GR Infra, HG Infra, Ashoka Buildcon. We have worked with all top 10 infrastructure players in India. Gradually, as we gained experience, we had completion certificates. So gradually, we are migrating towards government. As on date, something like 70-30, 30% are government orders, 70% are private. But very soon, we'll be reversing the trend.
Okay. Understood. Sir, now tell me one thing, in both the solar and the water EPC projects, sir, everything is, the orders are obviously won by a tender process, but is there any flexible kind of pricing mechanism in case there is a cost overrun for any of the project? Sir, क्या आपको flexibility थोड़ी मिलती है with the final customer, or is it as per the tender price, it is a fixed price you got to deliver in that price? So how does it work for the pricing as far as both solar and water EPC is concerned?
सर देखिए, पूरा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट डिफाइंड रहता है, वेल डिफाइंड रहता है टाइमलाइंस के हिसाब से या क्वांटिटीज के हिसाब से या बीओक्यू के हिसाब से. बट अगर कोई क्वांटिटीज एक्सीड होती हैं तो उसका नेचुरली दे गिव अस एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट, और कोई आउटसाइड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हमें एग्जीक्यूट करना पड़ता है जिसको हम बोलते हैं एक्स्ट्रा आइटम बियॉन्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, यू गेट पेमेंट. सो as far as contractual obligation is concerned, anything which is outside BOQ, they will pay us. Otherwise, we have to complete in that financial cost.
No, because I asked you this question, Sunil ji, because the key heart of the EPC company is how you manage your cost well. Between the kind of costing which you have given, अगर वो कॉस्टिंग में सब कुछ बैठता है तो उसका मतलब आपके लिए बहुत बढ़िया है. You actually cover up your margins in a very good way, because many EPC companies we know in the past, unfortunately they used to tender at whatever price to just beat the competition. लेकिन जब ऑपरेशन चालू होते थे तो सर उसमें पैसा बनाने के लिए बहुत दिक्कत होती थी. तो this is a very good thing. I mean, you are getting contracts which are workable and which are actually profitable. That is the most important thing to know. सर अभी मेरे को बताइए, ईपीसी बिजनेस में नॉर्मली हमने देखा है सर, देयर इज सम अमाउंट ऑफ रिटेंशन मनी व्हिच इज केप्ट बाय द क्लाइंट. इन आवर केस आल्सो इज इट सो, एंड व्हाट इज द परसेंटेज इफ इट इज?
Yes, it is generally. I mean, every project has a retention component, which they refund back once that DLP or that retention period is over. Generally, it is 5%, sir.
और सर ये 5% कभी आपको रिलीज होता है मोटा मोटी सर प्रोजेक्ट खत्म होने के बाद?
Depending upon the DLP period, starting from 6 months to 5 years.
Oh, that's okay. Fine. Sir, now tell me one thing, that in terms of the competitive intensity, sir, EPC business is competitive, let us face it. But sir, you have managed to run a decent performance. Tell me, sir, in our traditional market, Rajasthan, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, where we have dominant exposure, sir, यहाँ पे competitive intensity क्या है? क्या सभी को काम काफी ज्यादा मिलता है, so everybody gets his share of business, or is it a very intensive market where you got to sometimes cut your price to get an order to ensure that you are remaining in the market? Sir, ऐसा कुछ होता है?
देखिए, कंपटीशन तो है, सो यू हैव टू बीट द कंपटीशन. अब जैसे अभी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आ गया है, वी हैव बीन क्विक टू ब्रैग इट. तो हम लोग अपने रिसोर्सेज को एम्प्लॉय करते हैं, अच्छी टीम एम्प्लॉय करते हैं, अच्छा से एक टेंडर सेल है, अच्छा से एक बिडिंग सेल है, तो ऐसा करके हम कंपटीशन को बीट करते हैं और ऑर्डर्स विन करते हैं.
मैं समझ गया सर. दिस इज डेफिनेटली समथिंग गुड टू हियर. Sunil ji, now we let us keep the financials aside. See, working in the EPC business, I think it is a very challenging business because it's a very competitive line. Sir, मेरे को बताइए, ज्यादातर कस्टमर हमसे क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं? Is it execution? It is the pricing? Is it your track record? Sir, ऐसा क्या है कि which is applicable for you when you get, let's say, a repeat business from an existing client? If 2-3 points if you can highlight for us.
See, I've been getting repeat orders from big players like GR Infra, from Welspun, from DRA. So generally, client wants is a timely completion of the project and a good quality work. So these two are the most important: timely completion and good quality. And obviously, once the contract is signed, I focus only on these two things. That means I deliver good quality projects within timelines. So client is happy, and whatever is mentioned, we do it.
Yeah, so I think very nicely mentioned by you. Sunil ji, now one thing which is very important in our business is retention of employees. I was just going through your prospectus. Sir, हमारा जो attrition level है वो थोड़ा सा industry level से थोड़ा high है. तो इसकी कोई special वजह है और उसको हम कैसे solve कर रहे हैं? इसके बारे में बताइए.
आप सही कह रहे हैं. एक्चुअल में क्या है, हमको उसमें इम्प्रूव करना है, पर हमारा जो टॉप मैनेजमेंट है वो तो काफी पुराना है, बट जो यंगस्टर्स होते हैं और हमारी साइट बहुत रिमोट होती है, तो वी फेस दिस चैलेंज दैट यंगस्टर्स डू नॉट वांट टू गो टू रिमोट साइट एंड वर्क हार्ड आउटसाइड द ऑफिसेस. सो बट सिंस वी फोकस ऑन डिलीवरी, वी फोकस ऑन ट्रेनिंग, सो we are focusing on this aspect also, that people should retain, but top management generally is very old in our company. Youngsters we would improve in times to come.
ठीक है. I think well said. I think this is a kind of a process which takes little time to stabilize. So we do hope that this attrition level comes down to industry
Yes.
odd level, so that
Yes.
your work does not suffer. Sir, अभी financials के बारे में बात करते हैं. I was just seeing your FY24 number, very solid number, sir. Top line is almost 91 crores from 78 crores, and profit
Right.
after tax is almost gone up from 5 crores to 9.45 crores. Sir, पहले तो बताइए FY24 में, that is the year before, sir, what was the reason for such a sharp improvement in the profitability? Was it better working capital management, better higher number of contracts which you executed, a better product mix? What was the reason for such a sharp increase in the profitability for FY24?
Sir, as you grow, or as you gain experience, you become smart. So we are focusing very much now on profitability, trying to improving the purchasing cost, trying to bring down the purchasing cost. And initially, we were getting more of subcontracting works. Their margin was tough. Now we are getting more direct orders, so we are able to maintain good margins. So with experience and the expertise, we are improving our PAT.
So I think nice to know. Sir, ये तो 24 के number हो गए, but Sunil ji, since we are in the month of August now, if you can just give our investors some idea what has been the top line and the profit after tax for the current financial year which got ended, that is for March 25.
I mean, this is for March 25 only. I mean, you said 91 crore we finished with a PAT of something like 9+ crore.
Okay, so basically this is FY25 number. It's not 24.
Yeah, this is 25. Yeah, 24 was 77 crore revenue.
Yeah, 77, 78 crores. Okay. Right. Now tell me, sir, what is the kind of outlook which you can share for us? Because now you said you got a 280 crore order book. You are trying to expand to other states also. Sir, according to you, will this year also be an equally solid year like last year? Like last year was very good. Profits also almost doubled for us. Top line growth was also quite encouraging. So with this kind of order book, hopefully can we expect the same run rate for FY26 also?
We would definitely try. We are working hard and we hope to do that.
Okay, fine. I think nice to know. Sir, now let us come to the most important question of the interview. Sir, we are planning to go public. It is a milestone in the history of the company. Sir, tell me basically how much capital and how much money we are planning to raise from the capital markets, and for what purpose these funds will be used. If you could please tell us.
Fundraising approximately for rupees 45 crores. Obviously, we want to expand, we want to grow, so we need more funds. So this money would be utilized for the growth of the company.
Okay, so largely whether this money will be used largely for working capital, that is what I wanted to know.
Obviously, since we want to increase revenue, we need more capital, more funds, and we would definitely use it for the growth of the company.
Okay. Okay, now tell me one thing, sir. Another thing which is very important in the business, since you mentioned working capital, sir, हमारा जो working capital cycle होता है industry का और हमारा, sir, मोटा मोटी, sir, what is the time cycle for the working capital from the time you execute the order, the client gives you the money, then the cash flow comes to you. So what is the broad working capital cycle for us like?
See, generally in the infra sector, this is a challenge. Because you deliver a project and then bill gets verified and then the money comes back. Generally, from start to execution to billing, it takes something like 3 to 6 months for one to get back.
Okay. No, I think this is very important, input from your side, Sunilji, because, you're right. Company has been doing very well on the top line front, on the operating profit front, but somehow the cash flows have not been coming because, as you rightly said, the payment cycle is little long. So hopefully once the IPO is done, I think, Sunilji, this working capital cycle should improve.
Yes.
And that is what I think you will also agree with. Sir, अभी मेरे को बताइए कि frankly, over the next say 2 to 3 years, do you expect any change in your business model? Like, will you concentrate on solar, water, electrical EPC? Are these going to be the same areas where you think growth is going to continue, और कुछ नया भी काम चालू करेंगे सर इंफ्रा में?
Sir, हम definitely सोच रहे हैं क्योंकि it is a continuous process of evolving. So maybe हम एक नया जो सेक्टर है बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज सिस्टम, क्योंकि सोलर सेक्टर तो अच्छा है ही, दिन में तो हम सूरज से बिजली पैदा कर सकते हैं, बट रात के लिए आजकल जो हॉट ट्रेंड है वो है बैटरी स्टोरेज. तो हम बेस पे भी फोकस कर रहे हैं और आने वाले टाइम में हम बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज सिस्टम पे भी काम करेंगे और हम कोशिश करेंगे कि ओवरसीज हम एक्सपेंड करें अफ्रीका में. उसके लिए भी हम लोग सीरियसली विचार कर रहे हैं.
Okay. Sunil, now a question which is related to the management. Sir, you have promoted this company. Tell me one thing. As a promoter, what is the most important role you play in the company? Since you have a good management team who must be looking at other functions. Sir, आप company में क्या functional roles करते हो? Are you looking at new business, nurturing existing business relationships? What exactly is your vertical strength which you bring to the company?
See, like a captain, my role is like a captain of a team. So I guide my team, I motivate my team, I review my team, and major projects we have got a review meeting every month. So I sit on those meetings. So I work as a captain, and I've got various players in the company. So wherever they need correction, they need some guidance, I provide to them, so that the company is always on the growth path.
Correct. Well, I think very nice, sir. Sir, tell me one thing now, since the public issue is happening, it is a big milestone for you, because after setting the company, this is a historical milestone. Sir, from a investor point of view, a lot of retail investors will now believe you, believe your strength as a promoter, looking at your company, your balance sheet, your business profile. Sir, उनके लिए कोई छोटा message हो तो if you can please share that for the investors. I mean, people are looking forward. But in a very broad way, how would you plan to reward these investors over the longer term?
All I can assure you, I mean, this is a young company full of energy, full of vision. So, we are going to move forward, and I look forward for investors who would move forward with me in times to come.
I think people will definitely support you, sir. Sunilji, I think there is no doubt the issue will be a success. Sir, last question for today. I wanted to know that COVID was a kind of an era where everything got upsetted. I think every company, apart from construction, EPC, manufacturing. Sir, अभी इस धंधे में अगर मैं आपको पूछूं कि sir, what is the most important risk in our business? Is it execution or is it basically quality issue? Sir, कौन सा ऐसा फैक्टर है जो आप 24/7 मॉनिटर करते हो? सर, इसके बारे में बताइए।
एक तो क्वालिटी है जिसपे हम ध्यान देते हैं, क्योंकि अगर अच्छी क्वालिटी देंगे तो ही रिपीट कस्टमर्स आएंगे और तो ही कंपनी का पेमेंट भी सेफली आ जाएगा। तो क्वालिटी इज अ रिस्क फैक्टर व्हिच वी ऑलवेज cater and focus so that the client is happy and our DLP is successfully completed. Obviously, it gives you a brand image as well. The other is a successful completion of the DLP period, which is once again linked to quality only. So then third could be ROW issues, so they become challenge. But otherwise, if I believe that if we are able to deliver good quality, it sets the pace.
Correct. No, I think Sunil, you are right that looking at the infra opportunity in India, the runway for growth is very large. All you require is proper quality and execution, which I think hopefully आगे भी आपकी कंपनी करेगी. So sir, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. It was my pleasure to host you, and sir, all the best from my side to you and your management team. And sir, best wishes for your public issues. धन्यवाद.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.